Yeah, we are at spaceweather.com. Chance of minor storms today. NOAA forecasters say there is a slight chance of G1 class geomagnetic storms today, July the 13th, when Earth enters a fast moving stream of solar wind. The gaseous material is flowing out from an equatorial hole in the Sun's atmosphere. Yeah, the Sun's atmosphere. So, if you watch at the picture, I will show you one. Wait. Yeah, that's Space Weather Live. I will put the links below. Those dark areas here. These are the coronal holes, so which indicates that there's a hole in the atmosphere, which means the surface of the Sun is much colder than the atmosphere, which contradicts really badly with the theory of NASA and whatever Newtonian scientists that Sun produces the energy in its core through thermonuclear reaction. So how can the surface be colder than the atmosphere? But I leave it to professionals to explain this to you. Let's go back to where have we've been before, because actually I wanted to talk about cosmic ray update. New data from cosmic ray balloons show that solar cycle 25 is having an effect on Earth's atmosphere. Radiation levels in the air above our heads is decreasing as the new solar cycle gains strength. Spaceweather.com and the students of Earth Skies Calculus have been monitoring the situation for more than 6 years, which is approximately a half of a solar cycle. The plot shows cosmic rays in the stratosphere measured by radiation sensors we launch almost once a week from the Sierra Nevada mountains in California. Recent flights confirmed that radiation levels are decreasing for the first time since 2015. Cosmic rays come from deep space, mostly from supernova explosions. To reach the inner solar system, they have to fight their way through the Sun's protective magnetic field, in which we are all together, all our planet, that's our solar system. The Sun's protective magnetic field. That's the sphere in which our whole solar system is. And everything is in spheres, and spheres, and spheres. And we are in the protective magnetic field of the Sun. And we, humans, are in the protective magnetic field of Earth. Once cosmic rays reach Earth, they crash into the top of our atmosphere, creating a spray of secondary radiation, which we measure using high-altitude balloons. Atmospheric radiation showed up in 2015 to 2019 because then solar cycle 24 was decaying. The Sun's magnetic field became weak and uncomplicated. Cosmic rays from deep space found it easier to reach us. Our highest measurements in late 2019 correspond with NOAA's official date of solar minimum. Now the Sun is waking up again. New solar cycle 25 is strengthening the Sun's magnetic field and atmospheric radiation is dropping. So, this sounds really good, ain't it? But keep in mind that there's also stuff coming from the Sun. And there's many ways how you can watch the Sun. This is one. This white circle here in the middle is the actual Sun, the size of the Sun. And this other one around here is the occulter. So basically, if you would watch it from the side, there would be a camera. Yeah, that's a camera, and it has this kind of protective shield in front of it, in the middle, which is exactly the size of the Sun. So this is how you see it. That's the sun in the middle, and this is the disk in front of the camera. So you can see the corona around it. Otherwise, it would be too bright. You wouldn't see a thing, probably. So, we just heard that it's really good that the sun magnetic field gets strengthened and stuff. It's partly correct. We have the galactic current sheet hitting our solar system. All the planets are changing. Like probably you noticed Earth too, because heat records and cold records, except the mainstream media doesn't talk about the cold records. They just talk about the heat for some reason. And then we have thunderstorms and all this kind of stuff going on. Few volcanoes. There's probably a new volcano erupting soon in Iceland after Fagardfjall got active. He was marked as dormant until it erupted, which is quite interesting. And yeah, if you just watch at the sun now here, there's stuff going on. There's time missing. 77 frames, there's about 50 missing. You can see some planets flying by here on the lower side. They are in the distance, they are behind the sun. I think that's a really nice picture. There's stuff flying away from the sun, and here's somehow probably still magnetically connected to it. This kind of filament plasma stream. Yeah, we could dive into what we see around the sun here. No one seems to know. There's stuff going on. But that's actually a CME tracker, coronal mass ejection tracker. And if there is something like a CME coming out, it's gonna mark it with blue and red crosses, the boundary of the CME. Yeah, I said there's time missing. So it stopped at half past 5 recording because probably something happened. That's not uncommon that it just stops when something happens and then you just don't see it anymore. Which basically indicates you probably miss quite much stuff because they just don't show it. Anyway, this is how CME mark those. The blue color on the different images indicates the position of the leading edge. The red color on the different image indicates an approximate outline of the leading edge that was created using a segmentation technique, whatever that means. But anyway, the inner and the outer boundary. Shockwave and the stuff which is flying behind it, in a way. So there's stuff going on in the sun every day. Let's go to the previous day. I haven't watched for a while. Yeah, huge eruption. 2 eruptions. Let's put it a bit slower. Yeah, if you get this kind of flickering into the camera, it means the camera got hit. And yeah, there's back-to-back eruptions happening there on the sun. 7:12. Yeah, it's every 12 minutes it makes a picture. And something hit the satellite, I guess, because the picture quality is not good. It gets rattled if it gets hit. Like literally. Shaking. Yeah, we had already 1 eruption happening. Probably that's the reason for the eruption just happened. Objects zipping by, even though there shouldn't be any objects out there. Well, probably it's on the right side, I don't know. I leave this up to Scott. He's the man. He has the equipment, I just have my phone. Yeah, sideways the pictures gets really small. It's really hard to handle. And probably even much more harder to watch. I never watch my videos. Yeah, anyway, I was just about to show you that there's stuff going on in the sun. And we are really entering a phase where there's much more stuff going on the sun. And our magnetic field is weakening rapidly. North Pole is shifting towards Indonesia, which means the angle to the sun of our magnetic field is changing. So the radiation which is coming in a different angle. There's probably more, and the effects will probably be different. Like on the stuff, it basically hits on the surface. It's not ice anymore, it's water. And soon it will be land when it comes to northern Siberia. And this also indicates that there will be much more energy coming into Earth's electric circuit. And since a while I'm talking about thermal springs in Europe, about them being volcanic, and people are really not aware. And if we watch at France at the moment, there's like quakes in the same regions happening all the time. Even though they stopped telling how deep they are. The thermal spring in Paris, it's about 1,000 to 1,200 meters deep, which is not deep, really not. So, which also means that if there's more radiation coming in, induction heating, like going through everything into the ground, and we have those, how to say, electric circuit live streams all over the place. Many just don't know how they look. But do you think it is a coincidence that, for example, this volcano in Germany is just beside a river? No, it's not. It's really not a coincidence. Because the river is an electric current. So if there is stuff, energy coming in, radiation from the sun or whatever, it will flow through those channels of electricity. And this volcano is about 7 kilometers from the river. It's not that far. And there is probably, I don't know, there's those thermal springs in those places around here. And the other funny thing is also, like, if you know something about thermonuclear plants, how they work, most of them, they need a whole big lot of water. So they probably are really close to some river, because a lake would dry out, you know. It's simple. And if you think about like all those kind of funny things, earthquake, thermal plants, geothermal plants, volcanoes, where is it? here. Nuclear power plants and a river. To mark the dragon laughed when he came by the last time. And the last time was the last time when the galactic current sheet hit our solar system, like it does now. And it was exactly 12,000 years ago. Like exactly, I mean approximately. The Alps were created, those rivers were created. And the thing is that we have this increased volcanic activity all over the place, all over the globe, not just in Europe, not just in France. Not just in the Mediterranean. This means just one simple thing. And it will explain probably to many those petroglyphs some are talking about the dragons which are spitting fire from the sky, changing the landscape in where people are living, creating mountains and rivers. The dragons have been sleeping for about 6,000 years. So they are awaking now.